The following program is sponsored by Mike Gray with Morris Williams Realty. Views and opinions expressed are not those of this station, its owners, staff, or management. Now, the Golden State Report with Mike, Amy, and Dave.
Welcome, everybody. You are listening to the Golden State Report, heard every weekend on AM 1380. I'm Mike Gray with Morris Williams Realty. So happy that you have chosen to have us be part of your weekend plans. And in the studio, I have David Stone from the Stone Consulting Group.
Boy, it's so good to be back.
It is. We missed you.
Yeah, you know, life gets in the way, and sometimes you're busy, and it's great to see my friends in the studio.
Yeah, and you also got to see your family in Tennessee.
I did,
and the eclipse way back when. So
it seems like forever
I know
ago.
It does seem like years ago now. Right?
Yeah, that was a magical experience.
Good for you.
For me.
I'm glad that you and your family could experience that together.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And I also have Amy Debusk of American Pacific Mortgage.
Very happy to be here. Hello,
it's great to have
gentlemen.
everybody back in the studio. Great to have you tuning in, to our listeners out there. And we know that this is where you tune in, and we try to give you the latest news as it pertains to the Sacramento Valley real estate market. And here we are, end of April, first part of May. And this is usually when we are just running on all cylinders in the real estate market. A lot of buyers, a lot of sellers in a normal real estate market. But we are not in a normal real estate market. Again, the same things that have been haunting us in the past are still really having a pretty significant impact on today's market.
I'm not even sure what a normal real estate market is, because I feel like it's been so many years since we had a normal real estate market.
It hasn't been that long, maybe.
Unfortunately, I am so old that I know what a normal real estate market is. Okay, but we are, interest rates are still too high for some buyers. Probably too high for some sellers, which is probably a bigger consideration. They have lower interest rates if they have a mortgage, and they're still kind of hanging on. The projections for 2024 was the time of year when perhaps we were going to see interest rates starting to come down. We thought the Feds were going to lower the prime. Maybe this would be the second round around the 1st of May. Well, they've stayed the same all of 2024, with no indications that there may be a drop in the horizons. Maybe toward the
They might increase them, but we'll talk about that next segment.
Yeah, but so anyways, interest rates have still stayed pretty much where they have been all year. Sometimes going a little bit higher, sometimes coming down just a bit. But in the sevens, mid sevens, and Amy can talk about that in the next segment. But that has really kept a lot of sellers from adding to our inventory. And that's probably the number one thing that's affecting our market. Although we do have some sellers, because sooner or later, because of the reasons that you have to sell, that some homes are going to come on the market. Mm-hmm. And we have had an uptick in listings. And there's been just kind of almost all aspects of the market have been out there. We have homes that have hit the market, and they're still on the market. And they've been on the market 14, 18, some even 30 days. We have homes that hit the market and they're pending with multiple offers in 24 to 48 hours. I had a listing hit in Pollock Pines. We priced it right. We staged it, good pictures, and it went pending after 4 days.
Wow, that's great.
Which was by far the fastest time a home up in Pollock Pines has gone pending. So there are examples of homes going very, very quickly, multiple offers. My listing only had one offer, but it was a good offer. But I had a buyer trying to buy a very expensive piece of property, and we got beat out by $50,000 over asking price.
Oh, still happening then.
It is. And so
you knew that was going to happen, too.
Yeah, I did. That one I kind of projected was going to happen.
Well, that was in a really desirable area, and not very many, what you said, not very many single-family homes in that neighborhood.
Or a single story.
Single story, sorry.
Yeah, that was the one thing my buyers were looking for. Probably the one area that I'm noticing impacting the market the most is the lower end market, taking just a little bit longer because the buyers there are really affected by the interest rate more than any probably other part of the market.
Right.
Maybe, Amy, you could speak more to that than me, but I've seen some of those homes stay on the market just a little bit longer.
Oh, I agree with you. And I have a buyer making an offer on a house right now, and the house has been on the market for 52 days, mm-hmm. and it's around, and it's in the mid fives.
Yep.
Wow.
And again, I cannot overemphasize enough that if you're going to put your house on the market, this is a good time to sell. But make sure that you do your homework and prepare that home for the market.
And price it right.
Yeah, price it very, very competitively. Allow the market to invite more than one buyer to be interested at the same time, and then you're going to get over, perhaps appraised value by anywhere from 3 to 5, maybe even 10%. Just depends upon the area and the amount of competition for that particular home.
So it's still true, location, location, location are the three most important things in real estate?
Yeah, location, and then make a good presentation.
Okay,
right?
So there's two of the three.
Well, and I would venture to say that, just from my experience with my buyers and making offers and my buyers out shopping, when the interest rates tick up like they have in the mid-7s, buyers think about things a lot longer. Mm-hmm. It takes them, a week to make an offer, whereas before, found the house, let's make an offer within 24 hours. Right. And so I think that, maybe we might be heading more towards a neutral market.
Yeah. Well, I think we could be. Now, like I said, we have had a kind of an uptick in listings, which is nice. There's still more buyers than sellers, and then more buyers than inventory available.
Right.
But we still have homes now. I was looking at some homes for a new buyer that came my way this past weekend, and there were some homes that had been in the market 21 days, 23 days. I saw one for 37 days, and looking at the pictures, I thought, that's their first impression right there. And the pictures were taken with an iPhone. I can almost promise they were taken with an iPhone or a handheld camera.
Yeah, iPhone with 0.5, and they're trying to make the room look bigger than it really is.
Or they use a panoramic view.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's some tricks to try to make it. Then you got a disappointed buyer when they walk in.
Right.
The galley kitchen looked like it was a gourmet kitchen, and they walk in and they, well, I could touch this counter with this hand and this counter with the same hand and not move. That's not a gourmet kitchen in my book,
No.
And so the buyer is disappointed, and you never. Oh, what a terrible way to try to sell a house with a buyer who walks to you and says, "Oh, this isn't quite like I thought it would be because of the photos." Take honest photos.
Now, Mike, do you always hire a photographer?
I do. I hire the same professional, the one I've used for the last, decade and a half. Very, very good company, very reputable, but they know that a wide angle lens is taboo for my photos.
Yeah. Right.
Okay? I want honest photos. It's very, very important to me.
Nice, good photos, but honest photos, yeah.
I mean, in the house that I listed up in Pollock Pines, we had a long discussion with the sellers because we got the staging bid. The staging bid was about $7,500.
Wow.
And I said, I can't. There's no way I can prove to you that it's worth it. But you stage the house. For every dollar you spend on staging, I'll get you $2 to $3 back, and I'll also sell the house 2 to 3 times quicker. And it's just got I don't have stats that I can prove that with, because I'd have to have houses that didn't sell and houses that sold.
Right.
And you have to use the same house
to
really prove it.
Right.
But I said, from my experience, and we went. They really considered it. Finally, they said, well, we trust you. We'll stage the house. People would walk through. I had the house open on Saturday, and wow, this is just a gorgeous home. But it was staged. It looked really clean. Nice colors, nice wall hangings. Carpets had been cleaned, restretched, shampooed. Windows had been washed.
Was inviting for everybody.
You drove up to the house, and the front door invited you in. There's a brand new welcome mat.
I was going to wonder, new welcome mat.
There was.
Did you paint the front door?
No, because it had been recently painted.
Oh, had it recently
painted. We didn't have to do that.
Didn't need to do the secret painting of the front door.
Mike Gray's secret tip.
Yeah, but there was fresh landscaping, and it was just very, very inviting. And then this house was fairly large, and oftentimes in a home we will stage the kitchen, the living room, the master bedroom,
right,
and then leave, just to kind of give a feel and the opening as you walk through the house. This house had like 5 different levels. Rooms everywhere, so we staged every room.
Oh, wow. That's why it was $7,500.
Yeah, but people just said, without the staging, we couldn't have maybe seen what this house could be, because a lot of buyers, when they walk to a house, they can only see what's there. They can't see what something may be.
Right.
6 out of 10 cannot. 4 out of 10 can say, I can visualize what we can do with this room. We take out that wall, we change that window, and we have a whole different room. 6 out of 10 buyers can only see what's there.
Yeah.
6 out of 10 are not visual. Huh.
Yeah. Well, they're visual, but they're only visual. They can't see something that's not there.
Right.
If you have any questions about buying or selling, what's happening in the market, give me a call, 530-431-8586. You can also text that number, 530-431-8586.